fresh out of a rehab facility in March of 2018. Fast forward to 2025, 8-figure business built within the past 5 years, 2 beautiful, healthy, happy children.
Yeah, it's wild what just getting out there and just lifting some heavy shit or doing something hard, what it does for you psychologically.
At one point, I had just mentally accepted that I was going to forever just be a degenerate piece of shit junkie, right? And then I had this moment where I was like, I can give this one more try.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mission Control Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Stearns. We got Brock McClelland up in this piece. Shout out to the team at Roofer. They help make this possible. So if you need instant quotes, CRM, you want to talk to great people, you want proposals that'll give your prospects no choice but to buy from you, click the link in the description. Y'all know the drill. Tell them I sent you. Although they'll know because we put tracking parameters on the link. Brock, what's up, dude? 5 years coming this has been. He keeps telling me, I'm going to come to Buffalo. And then, he's flying to Miami and to Arizona. He's on other people's podcasts. I'm like, I can't help but take this personally at this point. He's like, you know what? I'm actually coming this time. I told him I'd hold my breath, and I'm still alive. Here we are, 5 years in the making. It's about to be a burner, boy.
The complication is I had to drive. Mm-hmm. It's the drive. I'd rather fly 5 hours than drive 3 hours.
But a guy like you has plenty of drive, don't you?
I do have a lot of drive. It's one of the things that I don't lack. But for whatever reason, driving numerous hours in a car is like one of my least favorite things to do. I burned myself out when I was younger. I used to make road trips from here to Lafayette, Louisiana, and it would take me anywhere from 20 to 24 hours straight, depending on what I was pulling. And when I finally moved back to Pittsburgh, I was like, I'm done driving.
I fucking hate driving too, so I can't blame you. But with that being said, I've been to Pittsburgh a few times.
You have.
It's because I love you.
You're a lot more courteous than I am when it comes to
That's not true. That's, listen, we all got our different strengths, right? Yeah. So where did your drive come from?
The determination of wanting to do better, be better, and become the best version of myself. So in 2018, as you're familiar with, I turned my life over to the Lord. I got myself cleaned up. I had a rough, rocky past. And March of 2018, I made a covenant with the Lord that moving forward, I was just going to work on becoming the best version of myself.
How'd you make it stick? I feel like a lot of people, they get to the enough is enough. I'm going to do something different. And they do for a couple hours, couple days, couple weeks, couple months. But all too often you see people kind of revert to, what led them to that realization initially, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. So what'd you do? And maybe you had that experience before where you're like, I'm done. I'm going to do something different. Maybe not. I did. So what made it stick for you?
I also had that same experience for multiple years. I finally, at the end of my road, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I realized that I had to reshape and shift my entire mindset. And I was able to identify the difference in between discipline and motivation. Motivation is going to get you up in the morning and help you brush your teeth, get you out the door potentially. But discipline is what's going to help you finish your day and get across that goal line. So there was a lot that went into it, and it wasn't just, day one, I was this new and improved person. It took weeks, months, even years. I mean, still to this day, right? Seven years later, I'm still working on myself regularly, trying to constantly kill off my old self and create a new version of myself. So the consistency, the discipline to just keep pushing forward. The past that I once lived, my why and my burn motivate me enough to give me the discipline that's needed to continuously push forward.
Yeah, that perspective and that POV looking up from rock bottom can be a very fueling factor, like as we progress through each day. If you're lucky enough to burn your life to the ground, you know exactly what we're talking about. So like the fear of, not being that person again, for sure. What I found was, so I overdosed, and that was years before that. And then I struggled with alcohol. What I found though, everybody's looking for the answers, right? And it's okay not to have the answers, right? And a lot of the times when you don't have the answers, that's where the biggest breakthroughs are gonna take place, right? So like, for instance, when I overdosed, they had just put out Suboxone, which everyone like, you should just get on Suboxone. And I was like, yeah, that feels like a bad idea. Feels like I'll be like right back in the same spot, just with a different variable in the equation. So I didn't do that. So I took a leave of absence from work and locked myself in my sister's apartment. Shout out to Melissa. She's the real one. She's a goat.
Yeah.
And, just dealt with all the bullshit associated with like detoxing. And I had no fucking idea what I was going to do, what the path forward was. But I knew what I wasn't going to do, right? So sometimes we don't know the answers. We know what the answers aren't. So then work backwards from there. Here's the 3 things I can't fucking do. We're going to make sure these are non-negotiables. I'm not going to do these. These might be triggers or contributing factors that lead to these 3 things. So maybe I'm going to stay away from these things, right? And initially for me, it was work, right? Because every time I go to work, people are like, I got this. And I just couldn't help myself. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like, yeah, give me 3 of those. Yeah. Take 6 of those. I'll pay you on Friday. How's that sound? Perfect. It's interesting.
Yeah, they were. So in a situation like that, they're ultimately just co-signing your bullshit at the end of the day. And they have no real care and concern for you. They're turning $1 off of you. You need to have those moments of clarity to have that epiphany, to develop that new outlook. And it's this simple. And a lot of people overlook this. Just don't take the first one. When it comes to the drugs and the alcohol side of it, we all know that if we're suffering from the disease of addiction of some sort, don't take the first one, which is probably one of the hardest things to do for some people in that situation, because as an addict, you don't know how to deal with life on life's terms. You've always tried. That's why you started using, right? And it starts way before you pick up the drug. The drug is typically the last thing. It's the character defects and the behaviors that take place beforehand, right? Think about it as a young child, I'm sure. At least we'll talk about me, right? I was getting in trouble. I wasn't listening to my parents. I was aggressive. I was fighting a lot as a young kid. I was destructive, vandalizing property. That's because of what life was throwing at me at a young age, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 20 years old. That's how I was getting out of myself, through violence mainly, and then it came to drugs. So drugs were that scapegoat. So when you try to turn your life over and get clean, that's all you know. That's like your comfort, right? Yeah. The fight, flight, or freeze, right? The flight is I'm going to use. The freeze is just like clamming up, but the fighting is fighting that temptation, that obsessive compulsive feel that you have to run to something to get numb.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think people that have problems with addiction, I think they're really good at sales, because I would close myself every single day on the fact that like, everything's fine, dude. Like, we're good. Yes. I'm getting up for work. Bills are paid, kind of, might be late here or there. But Rome isn't crumbling. Like, everything's fine. Yeah. I feel great. Here, let me take 4 more pills. Yeah. I feel better now. That was great. And, at some point, most people, I think, have some sort of event, and probably more of a catastrophe that hits. And when you take a look back and you're like, things weren't great at all. Yeah. But it's funny how we can sell ourselves on that. And I did the same thing with alcohol. Like, I hadn't drank in a few years before COVID, and then COVID comes and we're in New York. You're locked in the house for what seems forever. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm fucking bored. We're like 60 days locked in. I did all the work I could do, played all the Call of Duty I can. I'm like, I'd like to have a glass of wine with my girl. I'm like, I talked to her about it. She's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, I'm older. I'm more mature. I'm in a better spot in life. It's a glass of wine. Fast forward 2 weeks, drinking every day, bottle of this, bottle of that, 6-pack of this, 6-pack of that. 6 months down the road, I'm having my irregular heartbeat is becoming a real issue. It's happening like perpetually throughout the day. Put on 50 pounds. Now, guys and gals, I don't know if you know this. I am a staggering 5'8". 50 pounds on a 5'8" frame hits a bit different, and not in the greatest of ways. Yeah. And I saw a picture of myself at it was actually for Fall Fest. In Ellicottville. You should bring your wife to Ellicottville one of these times. Really nice place. But I saw a picture of myself and I was like, that's what you look like? Something's got to change. Yeah.
That was that epiphany.
Yeah.
Was looking in that mirror of like, wow, this is what I've become. And it is too. You justify to yourself, I can have this one glass of wine, right? And that's what the disease of addiction, once you get stamped with that thing and you're labeled an addict, it's forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away. I always refer to it as it's locked up in a cage. It's doing push-ups, it's doing sit-ups, it's doing dips, it's taking steroids. That thing is strengthening in itself, and it's waiting for that one moment of weakness.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as that door opens, boom, and it'll get you in many different ways. It's not always people put down one and pick up another. Shopping, shoes, gambling, sex, lust, all of this fun-filled stuff, right? They're just filling a void. And then that drug comes in time. That's why you got to watch those character behaviors and defects coming out. But that thing is there at all times. It's the monkey on your back.
It's a monkey on your back. So, and I'm not, a researcher and I don't know much, but I would assume that most people have that one of the character defects that they have if they struggle with addiction is like compulsive behavior, right?
Yeah.
So I once met with a therapist and we were talking about, life, habits, action, mindset, all these different things. And he's like, well, you have issues with compulsiveness, right? That's why you drank the way you drank. That's why you smoked the way that you smoked. That's why you did drugs the way that you did. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, but I'm actually like, I feel good right now and I'm good. And he's like, have you fixed those things? Well, not exactly. I was like, so what I've done, doctor.
Yeah.
I was like, have you ever golfed? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I'm like, have you ever sliced a ball? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. I was like, so what happens? He's like, well, I'm right-handed, so the ball goes way right. I was like, correct. I was like, so what would be the optimal fix for that? It's like, well, you'd fix the mechanics, right? That led to you coming across the ball in a way that creates a rotation to make it go right. I was like, correct. But you could also just aim left, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, and then ideally you just end up in the fairway. Now you sacrifice some of the distance, so it's not optimal. He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, that's what I've done. I play my slice in life.
Yeah.
I just play the slice. I haven't fixed those things, but I've channeled them into different areas of my life. And that seems to have worked somewhat. I mean, we could always be better. We're always growing. What was the moment for you?
In regards to
where you decided enough's enough, for real this time, I'm making this covenant. Was there most people have a specific moment?
So it's October of 2017. I am a union boilermaker and I'm off for the weekend and I'm going to do a little mini self-detox. And I get a phone call Saturday morning that they had found my sister dead in my stepfather's bathroom. She had overdosed. Naturally, you would think that would be that defining moment of I can't do this no more. But because I was already in active addiction, that self-detox didn't come. So I pushed from October to March. And then at the end of my run in March, I was to the point to where I was starting to lose consciousness, right? And I was starting to fade out. And I could tell in that moment, I was going, I was next. My time was right around the corner. I mean, they talk about it only ends, one of three ways: jails, institutions, or death, or you get clean. And I'd had a taste of sobriety and the good life prior to that. So I knew that there was a better way. I had went from praying to die because I was too much of a coward to kill myself. At one point, I had just mentally accepted that I was going to forever just be a degenerate piece of shit junkie. Right. And then I had this moment where I was like, I can give this one more try. So I actually put myself into a rehab facility, and in that they shipped me out to New Jersey to a detox facility. And in that detox facility is where I had that additional moment of clarity to where I was like, enough is enough. Came home and that was that. That
really sucks, dude. I'm sorry for your loss. It's fucking terrible.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And so I was one of three siblings. I was the oldest. I had a brother also who just recently, he passed away from an overdose in 2023. So all three of us became a product of our environment. We were born and raised into drugs, sex, violence, chaos. where I stand today, right? Like I took my whole entire family's inventory down to like great grandparents and then back up the line, aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole 9 yards. We all suffer from what is like referred to as like a generational curse. And the Bible talks about it. Deuteronomy 28, there's the blessings of obedience and the curse of disobedience. So it's Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 is the blessing, and 15 through like 65 is the curse of disobedience. My entire family was hit with that curse of disobedience across the board. And some of them have like gotten out and deviated away now, but looking back on it, what we were subjected to as children was super unfortunate. And we all became a product of our environment. And unfortunately, my brother and my sister both became like a negative statistic to the drugs, to where I became like a positive statistic to getting away from that and rebuilding and creating my life.
I'm sure they're looking on happy with what you've done.
They are. I do believe that. It's just like my sister caught us off guard. We didn't realize my brother was struggling left and right. And like, he was just so thick headed that he couldn't stop, and there was nothing we could do. I'm actually the one that found him in his apartment on a Monday morning. After a Monday morning meeting, me and a buddy of mine went to do like a health and wealth check on him, because no one heard from him since Saturday, wasn't at church on Sunday. And then, so.
Yeah, that's just not great. I had that experience with my stepdad, but he had taken his life. And yeah, man, it sucks. Like life throw.
Yeah, it's going to throw curveballs. And listen, Rocky Balboa says it best. It's not like life is going to hit. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's how can you get back up, right? And there's an actual quote to it, but it's along those lines. Like you got to keep getting up and keep pushing forward at the end of the day.
That's facts. How big of an impact do you think, you talked about environment, like being subject and end up being a product of the environment. In recovery, how big of an impact did it make to actually get out of the environment you were in initially, right? With going to New Jersey?
Yep.
And then maybe after the fact, maybe it was different social circles. Talk about that a little bit.
So you have to change everything. And that's why they talk about people, places, and things. And you touched on it earlier when you had referenced that work was one of your downfalls, because you had readily available access to whatever it is that you wanted. They were fronting to you. You're getting it on a Monday, paying for it on a Friday, right? They just make it easy and it's accessible. So people, places, and things. And it's not necessarily getting out of your state to go somewhere else to get clean, which worked tremendously for me. Went to Jersey, then kicked back over into near Philadelphia in the middle of the state for where I resided for a while. When I came home, I was in a relationship that I, pulled myself away, came home, and this individual that I was with there was no change in her. And I saw that. I was able to identify that quickly, and I actually had to pull myself out of that. And it was one of the best things I did that I believed saved my life. She came home at like 3:00 in the morning, higher than high could be. And I knew in that moment, if I stayed in this situation, I'm always going to get what I get, and that's high. And if I keep getting high, I'm going to die. So I got up the next morning and went to church, carried out with my day, went to church, came home. I packed my whole entire life and fit into I had a Nissan Altima at the time. My whole life fit into that car. And I pulled out of that house, and I was that. Temporarily homeless for a while. Friends, right? Gotta go. People that you're running and gunning with, using. You can't hang out in bars. It's just, it's too easy. You have to change everything. People, places, and things. You got to recreate your environment, and you have control of that, right? You can't, if you suffer from alcohol, right, and you got 45 days clean, you're not heroic. Why are you sitting in a bar on a Thursday night with your buddies watching Thursday night football? Yeah. There's an expression, if you sit in a barbershop long enough, eventually you're going to get a haircut, right? The bar's no different. You sit in a bar. I
didn't know that's the one you're going to pull out, because I was going to follow up with that one. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Stealing my line.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with a bar. You sit in a bar long enough, eventually you're going to have a drink. Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together.
Did you have explicit conversations with those people, or was it kind of something where life took you in a different direction, stopped taking calls?
Just peeled off. Yeah. Kept everybody at afar. And I had a network already from working a 12-step program that I surrounded myself by, along with some church members and so forth. So I had a spiritual mentor at that time. So he really helped me at that time.
So are you still in the program?
Not as much.
Yeah.
I have been to some meetings as of lately, though. Yes. So the first couple of years I was, die hard, working my step, sponsor, home group, the whole 9 yards, picking up key tags and so forth. The Lord played a big role in my recovery, right? All glory to God. Without him, I got nothing and I'm nobody. So the last several years have been dedicated to him in the church, and that has kept me on the straight and narrow also.
That makes sense. And good on you that, you recognize that maybe there's things happening in life that got you stressed and where you might find value in going back to a meeting. Like I feel like some people associate a stigma with going to meetings and shit. I'm like, why?
They talk about it. There's therapeutic value in those rooms of like one addict with another. Like we're all going through some stuff. And even if we're in there for an hour, right? One person might say one thing that helps me with something that I'm in that moment that I'm not openly talking about, or vice versa. Right? Like you go around a circle and you share, right? I might drop some fire that just saved 3 people's lives because of the perspective that I have to where I'm at in life and what I've gone through and what I've had to go through to get to where I'm at today, to where they're a newcomer, right? They might have 90 days or 2 years or just a lot of value to be added to and from people in there.
Well, it's like the sense of community too. And anytime you got a group of people that are aligned on a common goal or vision, like good things happen. And I don't care if it's a 12-step program, if it's a digital marketing agency, it's a roofing company, right? Like you get people in a room that are, to varying degrees motivated to actualize a certain outcome. Yeah. And a lot of good can come from that. And not all of it is obvious. Like you said, it might be one small thing that you said that somebody latched onto. They might tell you, they might not say anything. They might leave that meeting, but change their entire life because of it. Yeah. We don't always know the impact that we make.
No. One small thing can change one man's entire perspective. Yeah. And change the whole course of their life moving forward. So
facts. How important is momentum?
Huge in my opinion. That's where a lot of people fail in life, business, relationships, and so forth, that they get stagnant, complacent. They stop moving forwards. You constantly have to be moving forwards, progressing, whether it's you're working on yourself, your business, your marriage, your relationship with your children, whatever it is, you have to be advancing forward. David Goggins talks about finger on the trigger. His finger is always on the trigger.
It sure fucking is for that.
He's about it. Yeah. Like he does hard shit constantly, day in and day out, constantly going forward. Yeah.
And also like negative momentum is equally powerful, right?
Yeah. For sure.
If you're not doing things, or if you're doing shit that you shouldn't be doing, the ability for that to compound in the same way that positive momentum would is debilitating.
Yeah. You reap the seeds that you sow, right? Good karma, bad karma. I'm huge in the law of attraction, manifestation, the universe, right? And the negative people, the why me, poor me, Debbie Downers is what I refer to them as, right? Like you're going to attract that. If you're running around like, I'm tired, my body hurts, I'm a piece of shit, I can't get ahead in life, this is the best I got, this is all I can do, that's all you're going to get. You're going to get what you reap, Yeah. But if it's the opposite of that and you're positive, you're uplifting, you're calling people up, you're breathing life into others, you're breathing life into yourself and so forth, you're going to reap better benefits. Yeah. But if you just run around with this piss poor attitude, well, you're going to get piss poor results. It's one of the problems with people today in society, dude.
How important is health and fitness in your journey?
Huge. Yeah. Huge. It's a form of therapy, right? We've recently put out some content videos on our social media, my personal page and our company page. But it's not just about the physique that's being built, though.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am a walking billboard. Yeah. I am a walking billboard. I'm representing my company, myself, and my family, right? And it shows discipline and consistency, right? Like there's hard work and dedication that goes into this. But which we touched on that a little bit earlier. But it's about what it does for me spiritually also, and physically. So it's mind, body, spirit, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. That's my one-on-one time when I'm in the gym grinding, right? Whether I'm lifting with two of my buddies or I'm by myself with headphones on and I'm locked in, like I'm killing off that old version of myself that's at bay, right? We talked about the guy that's locked in the cage. Like he's training, but I'm also training too.
He's training.
He's training to get out, and I'm training to keep him in there, in various areas of my life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's wild what just getting out there and just lifting some heavy shit or doing something hard. Yeah. What it does for you psychologically. Yes. For me personally, I know for a fact. Like if I go a couple days without doing anything, I'm a fucking mess.
For sure. It's good for your mental state, your oxytocin, your dopamine, your serotonin levels, like all of this, like there's a chemical reaction in your brain that takes place, especially when you're lifting hard and you're strengthening your RAS system, your RAS system, right? Doing hard shit to make yourself more mentally strong. There's a way to do that. And weightlifting is one of them.
I think I was listening to Huberman, and it might have been via the Rogan podcast, or maybe it wasn't Huberman. I don't fucking know. It was somebody. And, but they were talking about, and I can't regurgitate what the physiological response was that caused it, but there is a disproportionate positive impact when you're doing something like your reward system internally, when you're doing something that you have substantial dismay for, that you just don't like doing. Yeah. He's like, so if you like going and hitting a heavy bag for 30 minutes, he's like, that's a great workout. Yeah. Cardio, upper body, lower body, especially if you're rolling. He's like, it's great. He's like, but if you like doing it and you hate doing legs, go do fucking legs, once or twice a week. He's like, because you will get benefits that you will not have access to by way of doing the workouts you like, no matter how physically straining there are, no matter how many calories you burn, no matter, you know what I mean?
Correct.
I was like, yeah, that's fucking fire.
The hitting the bag, that's like a reward for yourself, right? Because you enjoy that. Yeah. It's doing the legs that you don't like doing that helps build and strengthen that mindset. Yeah. There's an actual term for it.
I'm not smart enough to know it. I know there is.
I have it written down in my book.
We'll get back to you on the next episode with that term.
We'll talk about that next
We'll drop it in the description. Christian will find it. Yes. But it's kind of like, doing cold baths or ice, or, polar plunges or whatever the fuck you're doing. So even sauna sessions, right? Where people
Contrast
are like
therapy.
Yeah. Well, people are like, do you like this? Do you like this? Does this person like doing that? It's like, no. Most people fucking dread it. Yeah. But they understand like that unlock, that achievement that's, you get from just bearing through it and like, I'm going to fucking do this. And what that does for you psychologically, it's like, I knew it was going to fucking suck, but we did it, baby.
It's massive. Yeah. On top of the tremendous health benefits from the sauna and the cold plunge, right? There's a ton of stuff that's associated to both of them. The sauna helps reduce cardiovascular issues. So sitting in a sauna for 20 plus minutes lowers your chance of a heart attack or a stroke drastically. Getting in the cold plunge releases that oxytocin, dopamine, the serotonin, these feel-good chemicals along with some form of like a protein. It's just all around good for you. That's why it's contrast therapy. Right. Sauna, 20, 25 minutes, jump in a cold plunge, 2 to 3 minutes, ready, set, go. You're locked and loaded. But in the midst of that too, it sucks, right? Some people enjoy it. I don't personally mind it, but I've had my moments in the morning where I'm like, man, it's 40 degrees out. Yeah. I'm already cold. This is 38 degree water. Like this is not going to be very pleasurable right now. Yeah. But that's your inner self psyching yourself out ultimately, right? That's the little entitled bitch that us men tend to have.
That's what guys, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking water.
Yeah. And you got to have that conversation with yourself. Right? Sometimes you got to self-talk yourself to do some stuff that's complicated because of the reward that's on the other side. There's the physical reward, and then there's also the mental reward that's attached to it. And that's the building that character and strengthening your mindset. This way, if you're constantly putting in the reps of doing hard things that you don't want to do, that you know are good for you, right? We're using cold plunging as an example. Imagine when something very difficult comes down the pipe, whether it's something that's business related and you've never encountered this, or something with your family and so forth. And like you're staring up this hill, But inside and mentally, you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
I do hard stuff every day. Like, this is just another example.
That's such a good point. I was talking to somebody a couple months ago, and like they were lacking confidence.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was about, but they, typically if you have a large body of work excelling at something, you're going to be less likely to struggle with confidence issues, right?
Yep.
But this person had so many arenas and domains in life where they had substantial amount of confidence. I'm like, you can borrow that. Like, yeah, like you're super fucking good at Madden, playing football online, like on the PlayStation 5. And you're not so much good at this because you don't have the experience. It's hard to be ranked on Madden.
Yeah.
So fucking, you've got the vigor. You've done hard shit before. Dude, works out. Like, you're fucking fast as shit. You lift heavy. You weren't always that way, but you found a way to get through it. So like that confidence that you have in those other like walks or areas of life, like borrow that and apply it to this. And like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're not going to be great at it. Most people aren't great at anything until they start getting the reps in. You weren't great at video when I first met you.
Horrible.
Bro, that was so funny. We got to find those fucking archives, bro.
I still get uncomfortable sometimes. It takes me a while to get warm.
That shit was so funny. You were so angry.
I was. And listen, I knew going into that it was going to be complicated because so in high school, I was on this reality TV show called Bound for Glory. And I was so bad. Like, I was a star athlete on the team, right? Starting wide receiver and free safety. Like, I got no film time because I couldn't talk on camera. They kept me off of it. Like, the producers literally were telling like other athletes, like guys that I played with, like, he sucks. He's no good. Yeah. Like, the way they wanted, they would ask a question and then you would have to answer the question within the question. Like, I couldn't, right? Yeah. Like, I was behind the times, apparently. Like, I knew it was a little bit slow, but it just didn't work out.
Gotta get the reps in.
That's it. That's what it was. Fast forward, I used to do some video work for a gym that I was training martial arts at, out of the cage. And it was called like OTC tip of the day. And then I would walk you through like a front raise, like how to do a front raise or curl or shoulder press, something working out related. Yeah. It was complicated there too. Yeah. So I just sort of knew coming into that, I was like, man, I'm going to struggle with this. But it was, right? Doing those hard things. Here we are 5 years later, putting in the reps, and it's developed a higher
Content's
level.
Great now, dude.
I
see your content every day. I'm so proud of Brock. Because most people, regardless of what the thing that they're doing that's challenging them makes them feel very, very, very uncomfortable, they abandon it and then they don't push through, right?
Typically within 30 days. Most people are quitting things within 30 days.
Yeah. So like when I consistently started seeing the content come out, and then the content improving, and then it consistently improving and evolving. And I'm like, man, I'm so happy for my guy.
Yeah, really, it was just stay the course, put the reps in, and just keep pushing forward. That's it.
So if there's somebody watching this, and let's say they want to be a better version of themselves, right? Whatever that means to them. What are some things that you're going to tell them to do to assess where they're at and then to game plan of how they can get better?
My first question for them would be, do you truly know yourself? What is it that you're looking to accomplish, right? Like, what is your mission? What is the vision that you have and the mission that you're trying to achieve? Because if you don't know those two things, you're just aimlessly
meandering through life.
Yes, with no direction. So let's narrow that down. What's your mission? What's your vision? Right? Okay. Then do you have a why? Why is it that you're doing what you're doing? And then do you have a burn? Is there something that you're running from? The why is why you do what you do, right? So mine's my children. My burn is my past. They keep me moving forward and I'm running from this so that they don't ever see that. And then from there, we can start putting in some work through detailed questions, right? Locking in on that, how they're living their life, their routine, the structure, where are they at with their faith? That's a big thing for me, right? I'm a reborn again Christian. The Lord will deliver us through any and all things that we ask to be delivered from. We just have to get on the same page and see where it is exactly that they're wanting to go. And then we're going to coach them up from there.
I like that answer. What do you think is more powerful, the why or the burn?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And for as many times as I have referenced that, no one's asked me that question. I think they're both equally important. I do. The why, so my children, creating a better life for them. I need my children to have a life that was never there for me. The father, the relationship with my wife and I, their home life, their education, the structure, the guidance, the faith that we're instilling into them. I don't want my children to ever experience the things that I've had to experience. Yeah. I've experienced things in life that, one, nobody should have to experience, and two, I experienced them at a very young age to where it creates complications, right? And when I look at my babies, I just couldn't imagine being the one responsible, putting them in that situation. Right. Not at all. Like, there's things that took place to me as a child with molestation and all of these things, right? If somebody did to my children what somebody was doing to me, we would have a huge problem. Right. Which is why I can, and that comes, right, the people, places, and things. So the burn of what the life that we're escaping from is associated to all of that, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what we're running from, so that my children, my why, that keep me running from that, never wind up in them situations.
Yeah, they're kind of interwoven, so it's kind of an unfair question, right? Yeah. Because, sheltering them from the burn, it's hard to, so shitty for me to ask that.
No, you're good.
You handled it well, though.
You're good.
It was intentionally a tough question. Yeah. As soon as you're like, well, why is my kids a burns a pass? I'm like, I can't wait to drop this one.
Let me hit you with this curveball.
Right, quick.
Ready, set, go. So hopefully there was some clarity for you there in that answer.
Yeah. No, that's good shit. Before we wrap up, what's his plan, my grind?
His plan, my grind, right? So the Lord has a plan for me, and my grind is involved in his plan. I'm the one that's got to put the one foot in front of the other foot. He'll lay it out. That's where a lot of people get confused with some stuff too,
that's where right? A lot of people get it fucked up.
They got it fucked up, man. Like, hey, it's presented to you, but you got to work for it. It's like anything else in life, right? You'll get your layups and your handouts, but you got to put that work in, period. So his plan, my grind, is a coaching platform that we are in the process of building out and developing, thanks to Ascend Digital Agency on the website, the Elliott Army for building out the coaching platform for me. And we're going to find guys that have lost themselves, mid-20s to the 40s, whether it's the business owner that lost his why, never had a why, fell back into his burn, started eating double cheeseburgers again and couldn't put him down, right? He's
chill, bro. Double cheeseburger slap.
He can't look in the mirror and look at himself the same way. Like, he's embarrassed to take his shirt off on a family vacation. Like, I'm here to help you. We can find your inner self, right? That inner dog that's in you, and pull that out of you. Business owners that are stuck in that $1 to $5 to $10 million revenue area, right? We can add some systems and processes to that, help you scale a little bit, see where you're falling short. Couple different areas.
All right. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Like, everybody's a fucking guru and a coach, right? Yep. Click here and give me X amount of dollars, and I'm gonna fix your life. Yeah. What makes his plan, my grind, different?
The difference in me and majority of these people that are selling some shit online is I've lived through some shit. I got the past experiences to prove it, along with it, just in a short period of time, right? If we just want to cap from 2018 to 2025, fresh out of a rehab facility in March of 2018, fast forward to 2025, 8-figure business built within the past 5 years, 2 beautiful, healthy, happy children, married, successful marriage, the whole 9 yards, pushing through trials, tribulations, and adversity, right? Coming out of that fire that I was forged in a fire, getting out of that and becoming a positive statistic. The difference is a lot of people online right now, they're salesmen. We were talking about salesmen earlier, right? Everybody's a salesman at the end of the day. And addicts are good salesmen because they've had selling themselves, right? They got to find a way and means to use to get high. Sure. Every morning when I wake up, I have to sell myself, as you do, everybody does, right? You got to sell yourself on why you can do what you're setting out to do.
Whatever that is.
Yeah,
for better or worse.
That's it. And there's business owners, right? They forget that they're salesmen, and that's why their company gets all turmoil. And dude, you still got to sell. You're still selling. You're selling yourself to your employees, the vision, the mission, and what we're doing. I've experienced it, and there's a way to lock in and dial that in to get results out of that.
When did we meet? 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was 2020. I was on the I-290 in Buffalo, and one of my clients was like, I got somebody I want you to talk to. So I talked to Brock.
Yep.
Brock was at 200,000 in revenue.
So 2020, I think that year we did under 400,000 that year.
Number like 206 in my head, I think where you were at, and then you were pacing for a little bit more. Yeah. And I'm like, like, why did he send him to me?
Yeah.
And then we were talking. I'm like, what are you doing online? You're like, I just signed up with this company. I'm doing this. You were fucking big hype. I'm like, all right, dude. I was like, so ideally, what would happen with your company? So we talk about it. We go through a bunch of shit, and then it was what, July? I remember it was hot as fuck, and a house that I had just bought. It was the house I grew up in. I was renovating it. The AC took a shit. So we ended up having a meeting later, and I had to go to a hotel and stay because it was so goddamn hot. It was like 87 degrees in my house. Yeah. My dog's like,
struggling out.
We're going to go to a hotel for the night. And, dude, the transfer. And then after a few conversations, like, I understand why he sent him to me. Like, this dude's got that fucking dog in him.
Yeah. It made sense.
Yeah. So, and I didn't know at the time any of the context that you've laid out here today, as far as like trials and tribulations, like, not too long ago, in recovery, out of rehab, like, but I was like, my man's got a fire lit. Like, let's fucking get it.
For sure.
And you sure did, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for having had our paths cross and everything that you do.
Definitely. Super appreciative for everything that you've done, just not even just with myself, but the company, obviously, and the company on up. Working with my staff as any problems may arise. We need to navigate through something and need assistance. There's a lot of stuff that you guys are skilled in that we're not skilled in. Yeah. So it's worked well with one another.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. When I started doing this 11 years ago, I don't know, I just gave a shit, right? And like, people are like, what makes you different? I'm like, we give a shit. They're like, okay, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know, fucking a million different things, right? Yeah. I'm like, my clients, they call me for shit that has nothing to do with anything we do for them. It's not even adjacent. They're just looking to bounce a couple ideas off, or it might be about something. It might be about a billboard or a commercial they're trying to run, or one of their employee issues, or an SOP. I'm like, I don't know, we pay attention. We truly take an interest in what our clients have happening. And as a result of that, we get a ton of context and experience of working with a ton of different businesses in a ton of different places, ton of different processes, revenue models, et cetera. And then we can leverage that and those relationships to help them, to connect them with people that can help them. If we can't, like, I'm like, that's what a partnership's all about, right? Yeah. Like, not just, fucking pay me X and I'll do Y, right? Like, I don't know. I think about it how I'd want to be treated as a customer.
That's it.
Fucking try to do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just how we do things.
Customer service goes a long way, and it's a form of hospitality at the end of the day.
And we already talked about it earlier. I'm trying to be hospitable.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be in today's world. So with technology on the rise the way it is, they're trying to eliminate humans. Everybody that can keep the human in front of themselves will be succeeding in 5 to 10 years. The little fade and fad that's going through right now will offset.
I was thinking about that, and like how many things can be accomplished with AI as it is today, and then like what that prospect looks like for the future. And no matter how pervasive AI becomes, it's funny. I thought about it like the vinyl record collectors modern day, right? Like, there's a lot of people that want an 8-track or a record where they could put the shit on, fucking, even though like there was iPods available, or you could play it from your phone, or you could play it from your computer. Like, they like that specific look and feel and the sound of that music coming off that record. I think what triggered it was they were talking about art and people creating art with AI, and like, you could whip up something fucking incredible. Actually, there's a clip of an AI generated version of Many Men by 50 Cent. Joe Rogan played on his podcast. Yeah. Christian, can you find that and put the link down in the description? Yeah. It's not safe for work. So, disclosure made.
Yeah.
But it's a wild rendition of Many Men. And like, this dude could be a fucking star. He's created by AI, right?
Yeah.
But there will be still people, as far as like arts, for instance, stand-up comedy, concerts, where like you're gonna want that, and AI can't do that.
No.
Like, what are they gonna show? A fucking hologram of somebody on stage doing a concert? Like, people will desire and crave that human element to things more and more as we get closer and closer to AI being a more integral part of our lives every day.
People still want human interaction.
Yeah, does something for you.
It does.
Yeah,
that therapeutic value.
I think it's the cathartic benefits, like, talking about emotions to somebody else, and that loop, the positive benefits. I don't know. I'm not a smart guy.
That's way above my pay grade.
Facts. Same.
Yeah.
Same. I'm just a guy in Buffalo, New York, who just got, by the way, shout out to Brock. Great comeback. We got the custom ascend boards. Christian will show them on screen, and we're playing. I got him on the ropes. I mean, I'm giving him everything I got. He's fucking doing his rendition of a rope-a-dope on me, and I'm just hammering away. Pop, pop, pop. Got him down like 18-1. This fucking guy comes back and snipes me for the win.
It's that drive.
As he hope. So it was 19-15. I land my 2 on the board to get to 21. Throw my rest of my bags off so I don't break. He fucking throws an 8-point round heater to fucking negate my 2 and round up his 6. So job well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You beat me 3 times on a basketball court today, and I was like, I can't lose this game. I had to get warmed up a little bit. I had to get warmed up a little bit and fight for that one.
Basketball was fun.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
It's definitely no longer my sport when it comes to that, but yeah.
Oh, you haven't been getting the reps in, dude.
That's it. No, there's a difference in shooting with my 5 and 3-year-old in my driveway versus playing somebody on a basketball court for sure.
A pure natural athlete like myself.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Don't let the 5'8" figure fool you by any means.
Boy's got wiggle. He's got touch now.
He moves relatively well.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun. Well, man, I appreciate you coming all this way and coming on the show. This was some incredible value for everybody watching, so I'm grateful for that as well. Thanks to y'all watching too, tuning in, real MVPs, and shout out to the team at Roofer again. Anything you need, reach out to Roofer. Great company, great people, and they'll put your company first. Thank you.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.